Hey, what's going on guys? Timzy here, and in today's video I have 17 Azami spots on the map Clubhouse for you guys. If you guys want to see more Azami spots on other maps, let me know down in the comments below. But anyways, let's get right into the video. Starting off with the first spot, it's going to be a full Azami setup for rafters. Now this is going to be by far the best Azami setup you could have for rafters. So you're going to start by throwing your barriers on the bottom center railing of the openings between R1, R2, and R90. You can also throw another one on the bottom of the head holes that you typically make between server and rafters. This will give you a bit of extra cover. Once that server wall does get opened, you have somewhere to sort of crouch behind. Now from there, we're going to throw our fourth barrier in the opening in front of the head holes there, and that will give you some extra cover as well. Now what you guys can do here instead is I'm going to break the barriers to show you guys a lineup that you can do, which will give you a pixel angle. So you're going to be throwing it on the right hand side instead of the center. Throw it on the right hand side on the bottom railing. This will consistently make a pixel in the bottom left corner that you can use to then prone and watch the garage door. You can do this with this Azami barrier as well, but in this case I'm not going to show you guys. But you can also make that little pixel on the bottom left corner, and from the attacker's point of view, not only attacking the Azami barriers is very difficult, but if you create the pixel along the R1 and R2 barriers, it's going to be near impossible for them to actually push you out of garage unless they bring some nades and try to clear all the aces out in order to clear you out of rafters. Now this next spot's going to be pretty simple. It's going to be inside of red hall, and we are just going to block the red drone hole. Now the reason for this is we want to force the attackers to use some sort of utility before they get some info inside of the objective. Now I do want to point out that they can melee this barrier, but the bonus for this is if you play inside of red hall and you hear somebody meleeing the drone hole, then you can simply prone inside a red hall, wait for the barrier to break, and immediately start spraying. You potentially do some damage or get a kill. Now you do want to be careful because this can work both ways, but this will just stop the attackers from getting info inside of the objective until they break that barrier. Now moving on from there, we're going to set up a top red rotate into cache, but once the attackers get in construction, it's going to be very difficult for you as a defender to rotate in and out of cache because they can simply watch the construction doorway. So we're going to use a barrier that allows us to sort of rotate in and out of cache without being too exposed to that construction doorway. So we just throw it on the side of the toolbox there. Once you're able to clear the construction door, you're able to walk into the actual objective and hide behind this barrier and use it to help you contest the construction doorway. But more importantly, you can use this to contest the construction breach. If the wall does get open, you can hide behind the barrier. You are covered from the construction door while you can watch the breach. Now you can take this one step further and place a barrier on the bomb chassis inside of cache. So the left side bomb chassis on green box, this will allow you to have a little bit of extra cover when defending green box, and you can use this to contest the breach if the wall does get open. So you have the barrier on the top red rotate as well as the barrier inside of cache. So it just allows you to sort of play in here a little bit safer without feeling the need to actually run away and give up the cache control. Now, making our way back in rafters, it's very common for the attackers to open up the top left corner of the garage 1 panel, and the reason for this is to cover the rafters window. This stops any defenders from rotating in and out of rafters, so we're going to use a barrier to simply block that line of sight. This will allow you to still vault in and vault out of rafters if you need to give up the garage control. Now this also doubles up as a barrier that you can use to sort of peek and contest that panel as it does get open. And if you are playing R1 or R2, this also blocks the server wall from seeing through that rafters window to contest you. So it makes playing rafters even safer. Just taking a quick break from the video, but 90% of you guys that watch my videos are not subscribed to the channel. So if you guys enjoy this type of content, please consider hitting that subscribe button and notification bell so you guys don't miss a future video. But anyways, let's get back into it. Now this next spot is going to be for the red hallways. So a lot of the time the attackers go outside of the server window and they can simply sit on the server window and cut off the rotates inside of server. They can stop anybody rotating from top red or rotating through that rafters window. So we're going to use a barrier to help us out just a little bit. So we're going to place a barrier on the red door facing that server window, sort of like a shield so we can peek off of it as well. Now of course you need to keep the server wall closed, but if there's any attackers outside of the server window while the server wall is closed, you can simply use this to rotate in and out of top red so that you can go back and forth between server to help you contest that server window. Now moving downstairs into the basement, we're going to be setting up a barrier on the dummies box, or box 3 in this case. So it's very common to head glitch the box in order to watch the dirt doorway, so we're going to use a barrier instead to sort of block that line of sight and we're actually going to vault on top of the box and elevate over the line of sight that we just made, and this will allow us to watch that pixel that is inside of the dirt door. Now, of course, you're going to be exposed to the kitchen hatch, so we're going to use a barrier to then block the kitchen hatch's line of sight to use standing on top of box 3. And what the attackers see is as they are pushing dirt, they're typically going to be looking at the head level right above that box 3, but you're actually going to be elevated above what they're typically going to be holding, and this will just give you an edge on anybody that's pushing through dirt. Now we have another spot inside of Arsenal. It's going to be in the northeast corner. You're going to simply vault up on top of the toolbox in the corner. You can then throw a barrier on the top of the gun case, and then you can sprint across and vault up on top of that gun case. Now the reason for this is because if we pair this with a Kiba barrier, you can throw this a little bit higher than I did in this clip, but you guys can then again vault up onto the toolbox, sprint across, and vault up on top of the gun case, and you can use this as sort of a shield in front of you as you are crouching on top of the gun case. You can watch the kitchen hatch drop, you can watch as the attackers are pushing through dirt, and you can take this one step further and actually prone so you are less exposed, and you can also watch the long hallway as the attackers are pushing up to that church double door. Now, making your way into blue, you typically have a rotation hole from blue into church so that you can rotate between the objectives, but once the attackers get that moto control, they're going to be able to cut off that blue rotation from that moto door, so we're going to use an Azami barrier to block that line of sight. So we're going to break the 2 chairs on the left-hand side, throw our barrier in line with the leg of the table, and you can then rotate through blue and church freely, and this makes playing church a lot safer since you have another spot that you can play besides just sitting behind the bar, black box, or the bomb chassis. Now, staying downstairs, we're going to be going back into Armory and setting up a barrier on the Armory door that allows us to contest long hallway, the church wall, and the moto door. Now, you could throw this on the left or right hand side. In my opinion, I like the left hand side better, but I'll show you exactly what both POVs really get you. Now, you want to throw this a little bit lower than I did, but in this case, I like the left hand side just a bit better. This allows you to contest the bottom of the main stairs. Anybody pushing down long hallway, you can see the left side of the church wall, and more importantly, the moto doorway, and you can even prone to get a pixel on the moto door, so you can pretty much shut down moto door from inside of Armory just on that pixel there, and this more importantly stops any attackers from pushing down long hallway until they break the barrier, which you can simply throw up another one. Now this next spot is going to be backed by K9, so we're going to throw a barrier at shield height facing blue, so this allows us to sit behind inside of K9 to actually watch the blue door. As the attackers come down the blue stairs or drop the stock hatch, you can simply watch them from here, and once the attackers get that blue hallway control, it's pretty annoying to counter that since they are sort of in the middle of the 2 objectives, but hopefully this will give you a little bit of extra cover to help you contest the blue door. Now this next spot is going to be another vault Azami spot that I have for you guys. So you're going to go into long hallway, you're going to break all of the debris on top of this dresser, and then from there you're going to be able to get a vault prompt on top of the actual dresser itself, and from there you're going to place a barrier on the bottom right corner, and this will allow you to then stand up over the barrier and peek over, and you can watch the bottom of the main stairs. Now this is just an extremely off angle, people are not going to be expecting this unless they end up droning it out. You do want to be careful because the ceiling above you is soft, but I thought I would throw this in there anyways for those of you that would like to sort of get up here and just have a little bit of an off angle holding the long hallway. Now moving on to the gym and master objective, we're going to be setting up a barrier inside of B2 that allows us to have a sort of shield height to contest the construction doorway as well as the master window if they are attacking that side of the map. This just gives you a little bit of extra cover when defending bathroom. Now moving on from there, we need to set up a barrier that allows us to watch the jacuzzi wall. Once that wall does get opened, it's very hard as a defender to defend the master hallway. So we're going to use a barrier. You can place this on the master door or the edge of the lodgy door. In this case, we'll set it up on the lodgy door. That'll allow you to sort of contest the jacuzzi wall when it does get opened, and this could double up as a barrier on the opposite side as well. You can use this to watch that Logi hatch drop, or if the attackers are pushing from cache through Logi, you could use this to cover that rotation hole as well. But again, this just allows you to contest the jacuzzi wall and stop the attackers from pushing Master Hall. Now, making our way back into bathroom, we're going to be making a rotation hole on the left-hand side and placing a Kiba barrier at the bottom half of that rotation hole. So once the jacuzzi wall does get opened, you can still play inside of bathroom and use the barrier to help you contest that jacuzzi wall. Now, you can still rotate in and out. You can simply vault over the Kiba barrier to vault back into gym hall or back into bathroom. And the best part about this is even if you need to reinforce the wall off, you can still reinforce the wall with the barrier up. Now moving on from there, we're going to set up a barrier on the bomb chassis inside of Master that allows us to sort of play inside of Master a little bit longer. You place it on the right hand side. This will allow you to contest that Master window sort of as a shield. And I want to throw in something here as well. If you guys break the TV, you can vault up on top of the counter and sort of tuck yourself into the corner. And I think this is just sort of an off angle if the attackers are pushing construction or vaulting into the Master window. You can sort of wait here until they try to get into that initial Master control and then peek out from on top of the counter. Now the sex spot is going to be a little bit risky, but this is a way to help your bandit still try and bandit trick the jacuzzi wall even if somebody is on that gym window. Now the way this expands, it will allow you to actually have a bit of cover or enough cover to actually contest and bandit trick that jacuzzi wall even if somebody is on the gym window. Now it is risky, but it does give you a way to contest the gym window as well with the 2 pixels on the left and the right hand side of the doorway here, or the keep barrier. But again, this is just a way to help you sort of bandit trick that jacuzzi wall, and this can be used the other direction as well. If the jacuzzi wall does get opened, you have a bit of extra cover when contesting people that are outside of that breach. And last but not least, I have a full Azami setup inside of Cache when you are defending the Master and Gym objectives. So the first one is going to be placed on the bottom of the pillar here inside of Cache. This will cover that server door so you can rotate in Cache and construction. Now of course we have some head holes across the Cache wall. In this case we're going to be placing a barrier on the bottom half of that so we can contest the Master and Gym window hop in as well as that construction window. We are then going to place a barrier on the right side of the green box. This gives you just a little bit of extra extension when peeking out into that server doorway. Now we are going to place another barrier on the left hand side of the green box. Again, this just gives you a little bit of extra lines of sight or extra cover when peeking out to contest anything else around server and construction. Now you guys can see that this covers the entire Cache. This allows you to sort of rotate all around, cover the server door, construction window, the Master and Gym window as well. Anyways guys, that's going to be all for me. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. If you guys learned anything new in this video, please consider leaving a like on the video, hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you guys don't miss a future video. And if you guys want to suggest the next map in the Azami series, make sure to leave a comment down below. But anyways, I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.